It's a massive clash at the Global Chess League between the world champion Domaraju Gukesh and Alireza Firouzja. Gukesh playing for the PBG Alaskan Knights and Firouzja for the Triveni Continental Kings. This is going to be so exciting. Gopakumar, the arbiter, comes in, starts the clock, and Gukesh opens with c4. The English opening is on the board. Alireza takes his time. There have been so many epic clashes between them already, especially at the candidates where they traded blows against each other. g3, bishop comes out to g7, bishop to g2 on the long diagonal here. Alireza now plays the symmetrical English with pawn to c5. Knight comes out to c3, knight to c6. And Gukesh brings his other knight out. Will Alireza keep the symmetry? No. He goes a6. He's going for this rook b8, b5 ideas. Gukesh quickly castles rook b8. You have to see that while white has been castling and developing pieces, black is spending some time here playing slightly typical moves in this position, but not the best ones. b5. Now take, and a4 could be a very interesting idea to play on the queen side. Take, a4, and if b4 you just jump in. Gukesh does exchange. Alireza takes back. And he plays bishop to e3. Not the best move hitting here, but a very logical one. b4 would be a nice one here. And Alireza does play it. He pushes his pawn to b4, attacking the knight. The knight can go to a4 or e4. It goes to a4. Now d6 must be played. The knight on c6 is a bit loose. d4 takes. Knight takes d4. Takes here. Bishop takes. And now bishop takes d4. Very important move, but he blunders with knight f6. Gukesh now has a huge tactic here with bishop a7. The rook is trapped. Rook b7, you just take it. Rook b5, you have a check and you win this rook. It's a big moment here. Can Gukesh find it? Just put your bishop here on a7, Gukesh. He's thinking about it. If he finds it, the PBG Alaskan Knights can score a big win here on board 1 itself. But the world champion misses it. He plays b3. Alireza now castles, and the problem is now bishop a7, rook b5. There is no check here. The king is moved out. The king has checked out. There. Castles, rook comes to c1. Black's position now getting very promising. The reason is that the one pawn on the queen side is locking in two pawns. Queen to a5 played. He brings his queen up to d2. And bishop d7 hitting the knight on a4. The queen comes to e3, pressurizing the e7 point. The rook e8. And now h3 played here by Gukesh, taking away the g4 square. The queen slides over, attacking the pawn on h3, g4, kicking the queen. Queen h4 played here by Firouzja. And now rook to c7. The bishop is hanging here on d7 because of bishop f6 ideas, and he comes up bishop to e6. Gukesh goes rook d1, maybe getting back the knight should be given a big priority here. Rook c8. He takes, rook takes c8, and guys, the rook entering c2 and hitting a2 would be a big issue. But Gukesh goes queen d2. He's playing this a bit passively. h5. Wow, Alireza finds it, striking on these pawns here. Gukesh makes a very passive move, f3. And now Firouzja takes, take back with the h pawn. F would have been better because now you can see that knight d5 is an insanely strong idea that Alireza has. But even there's bishop h6. You know, the bishop on g2 is quite closed here. He finds it, bishop h6, what a move. The point is, all the dark squares are tremendously weak. Gukesh takes a pawn. But I think now black's attack is tremendously strong. Queen e1, you can say a huge error. Queen h2, king f1, and now knight jumping into d5 would be really good, and he plays it. Knight to d5, threatening all sorts of checks and bishop g3 and knight f4 business. So queen goes to f2, and now look at this finish. Bishop g3, queen g1, queen h6 with the idea of knight f4, knight e3 stuff, but he doesn't play it. He plays rook c2, queen g1, takes the queen, and Alireza making a very practical choice here. He could have kept the queens on the board. Bishop takes g1, and now rook takes a2. He realizes that this endgame is really better for him, especially because the bishops are all locked in. Knight to e3 check, takes bishop e3, and while the b pawn looks strong, the a4 knight would be hanging, so the knight comes back to c3, rook comes up to c2, attacking the knight here, and knight d1. The bishop is actively positioned in the center of the board, and Gukesh plays g5 so that he can play f4 and the g4 pawn is not hanging. But this does give away the f5 square. Now the bishop can pop out to f5. Bishop coming out to f5. He finds it. Bishop f5, and then the bishop could potentially drop back. If e4, bishop d7, bishop b5 would have been game over. So knight f2. Alireza plays rook to a2, attacking the knight here, and rook d1. But bishop e3, a nice move. Now bishop h3, trade it off, but he goes b4, a huge mistake. Bishop c2, and the rook is trapped here. Gukesh resigns as rook e1 falls to bishop d2. Alireza Firouzja wins a big game, and with this the Triveni Continental Kings create a complete whitewash against the PBG Alaskan Knights. They played so well, and in this game Alireza Firouzja just showed why he is such a strong player. Prince Ali manages to beat the world champion, and Gukesh will be looking for a revenge when they play again with opposite colors in a few days. But for now, it's all Triveni Continental Kings.
So I'm joined by Alireza Firouzja. Alireza, how are you feeling right now?
Feel happy our team won a tough match.
And yesterday you played against Fabiano and today against world champion Gukesh, and back-to-back 2 wins for your team and for you. Can you take us through this game?
The game was interesting. I mean, it was a solid opening by Gukesh, but after it got suddenly tricky for him. I got a good position out of opening, and then it was comfortable to put pressure on him and slowly manage.
Thank you so much for joining.